I was talking about the packages of preconception care interventions. As you know that we have different policy in different countries. I was talking to you. Different countries, they make some different protocol for reducing the rate of congenital and mortality morbidity rate by making some mandatory and governmental preconception counseling through their some health clinics. And I explained to you some sample from some country, like for Iran, government made a protocol and a rule that for any couples that they want to try for register their marriage, first they have to go to counseling center. They get an approval letter that they passed pre-marriage conception courses and they are competent enough to be a couple. Then they get approval to register their marriage. In some other countries, we have some special health clinics that they are trying to make some private preconception counseling services. So it depends. Every country, they have some special services, and most of that are running by midwife. What is the example of evidence interventions? For example, about nutrition condition, about areas that addressed by the preconception care packages for nutritional condition. It's for screening of antenatal malnutrition problem. What is that? Screening for anemia and diabetes. Because as you know, we have diabetic problem. We have some mothers that they are diabetic on insulin. We say GDM on diet or GDM on insulin. They have to go through preconception counseling to reduce their HbA1c. Then they try for conception. Most of time for this GDM on insulin, we will try to check the HbA1c screening test. If it is approved, it is controlled, then they can go for pregnancy. And about anemia, it is very important issue. In some developing countries, we have so much problem with anemia mothers and anemia girls. So we have to do very simple screening tests. It will be done very easy with one CBC and some food blood count test to find some severe anemia and try to treat them before applying for conception. The other factors and intervention we are trying to provide is supplementing iron and folic acid. Actually, supplementing iron and folic acid is not happening in all countries, but some countries we are providing this iron and folic acid after puberty time to the girls to preventive of malnutrition and vitamin deficiency plus anemia. So it depends about each country's government rules, but anyhow you have to try to check their iron factors in their screen test, and it is needed to advise them for iron. But folic acid, this is one of the important factors that you have to advise to the mother for reducing the malformation in the congenital malformation in the baby at least 3 weeks before pregnancy. Most of the time this folic acid will not provide sufficient folic acid for mother through food and diet, so they need to have this supplement extra through that medicine. The other intervention that we're trying to give to preconception counseling is about information, education, and counseling. Sometimes in some countries, in some places, they don't know about benefits, about the importance and necessity of this counseling, because maybe some partner, they are not aware about this disease is very important. Maybe even they are not that much educated to know what is anemia and what is the background of family, if they have some malformation baby or some congenital problem in their past previous family history. So we have to aware them, we have to train them and let them understand what is the necessary of that. One of the other interventions is monitoring nutritional status. How you are monitoring nutritional nutritional status? Yeah, we have to get a history from the girl and from the couples. We have some families in some countries that are vegetarian and have a lack and deficiency of iron and folic acid and vitamin B in their daily nutrition meals. So according to that place, you will understand which nutrition, and according their culture and the way of their diet, you will understand which nutrition they need to advise and consider in their daily meal. We have other factors that is very important, is supplementing energy and nutrition dense food. Yes. Sometimes we have some mothers that they are going to get pregnant, but they are with lower BMI, and some of them, they are very tired. Most of the time they don't have that much energy to do their daily duties and tasks. You will understand. Since you see the mothers and the couple comes to you, you will look at her face, how her face is energetic, how this lady is energetic, if she has enough nutrition dense food in her life or no. So according to that, you will advise them some special nutrition counseling. And management of diabetic, including counseling people with diabetic mellitus, is such an important job for us as a midwife. Yeah, we have to take a good history from them, that to know that in their family, if they have history of diabetic or they have some sign of diabetic and maybe they are not aware of that, so we have to consider and we have mentioned that in their next future screening test and follow-up. The other important intervention that we have to consider as a midwife or as a family health GP doctor is promoting exercise. Yeah, the exercise is one of the important factors that develop their fertility rate, plus, as you know, make a mother more energetic, plus increase their social and behavioral mood too. Sometimes it is one of the very routine advice that most of the doctors says to the girls, that okay, go do exercise, but some of them, they are so confused, they don't know which exercise. For example, I'm living in a village, which exercise I have to go? We don't have gym, we don't have swimming pool. So our role as a counselor and as a midwife is that to find and define some special exercise that can happen in that area, in that place, and for that situation. Sometimes advising as very simple advertise, from simple walking outside, or we can ask them to do some small walking in the place. For example, doing 15 minutes just a step and march is a very good enough and sufficient exercise for that girl. Or sometimes we can advise them some special dance to do at home that is count as exercise. It is our role how we can modify their activity and exercise according their lifestyle. It should be touchable for girls and for the mothers. Otherwise, if they think that it is such a routine advice we are giving to everybody, and they say she only talk nonsense because we don't have any facility for that. So we have to be smart. We have to see their place. We have to check their situation, and then according that, we define how and who can do the kind of exercise, where and which way. The other important factor that we have to use in our preconception counseling is it is using iode, and we call it iodization of salt. Iodization of salt is one of the important action that I've seen many governments in different countries are doing. They are adding iodized salt to the daily shop stuff. So you won't find any salt without iodized, but it depends. It depends that how you find it and how you find the proper one in which place, because every country they have different type of iodized salt, and you have to look after that. Maybe some country still they haven't made this nutrition advice, they haven't implemented it, but you have to try and teach them to find the salt that mentioned is iodized. Okay, dear friend, I guess for today, I think it was, we have some interruption because of our loose connection. Anyhow, we have 3 minutes that we can continue our daily class. The others, example of evidence-based intervention, and where the areas that we have addressed by the preconception care package is tobacco use. Oh yeah, unfortunately in some countries they are using too much tobacco, and it is a routine, it is a very normal, they don't find it very harmful. But as you know, you have to screen all women and girls for tobacco use, like smoking and smokeless tobacco. Even sometimes you can assess and follow it from their family. Providing brief tobacco cessation advice or pharmacotherapy, including nicotine replacement therapy if it is available in your place, and intensive behavioral counseling advice services. Yeah, I saw in some countries that they are replacing with some special nicotine instrument that sometimes it is like we call it replacement therapy, but I don't know, in different countries they have different rules, and I'm not sure about how you can do it. You have to manage it and go according your protocols. The important things that we have to talk is we have to screen all non-smokers, men or women, and advise about harm of second-hand smoke and harmful effects for a pregnant woman and unborn child. Unfortunately, sometimes the people, they don't know that much the damage full of second-hand smoking. Yeah, you have seen in many even developed countries, even many teenagers, they pass the smoke to each other and they don't know what is the harm of that. So I have many clue about that. I hope that you can take care of this important issue and let this awareness and training goes to proper and needed person in proper way. The important things that we were talking at the start, it was about genetic condition. We have to address for genetic condition as well. Genetic conditions, it's come out to you provide, and you can collect a very accurate family history to identify risk factor for genetic conditions. And it's sometimes even the family are not that much sure that they had this genetic in their family. It is very important to consider in their family planning, because we have to plan for their future. Genetic counseling, there are centers or clinic in some countries that they have a genetic counseling doctors sitting in their clinics, and they provide special tests for some routine and very common genetic disorders. There is a carrier screening and testing, plus there is some appropriate treatment of genetic conditions that if couples go through their proper counselor, they can get that. Plus, you have to follow community-wide or national screening among population at high risk. I think our time is finished. I'm trying to work in both screen. One is for Facebook, you guys, and one is for you guys in Instagram. Thank you for your wave. I'm trying to answer. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fatima Denise. Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Sungol. And from Instagram, thank you everybody for your wave. From the start, I will try to call your name, but it's so much in Instagram. Samine, Midwife Tehran Rafati, Goldi, Qudsi, Mrs. Sobati, Atefe. Actually in Instagram we have many followers and I cannot remember all the names, but anyhow their accounts show some names. Mari, Midwife Dola, Ella Zandi, Mama Center. Thank you so much. Thank you, Behnaz. Thank you everybody. Thank you, Mahshi. Thank you all of you, and thank you all of you. I hope if you like our classes, please don't hesitate to subscribe our channel in YouTube, Lily Mom Center LMC, and please press the bell and share with your friends. I hope to see you again in next classes. We are trying to share some other classes with you and some of our evidence-based programs, videos, and classes. Thank you for your messages. I love and I hear always every day from your comments and your message. Don't forget to share all of your feedback and let us hear from you. Your suggestion, your comments, we will come back to you through that. Thank you so much. Merci. Khoda Hafiz. Thank you. Merci. Khoda Hafiz.